A stay here promises experiences like no other. Welcome to Designing Your Travels. In this video, we want to take you through the city of Havana and show you how to make the most of your time here. Nicknamed the key to the New World, this little island served as a crossroads for explorers and colonial powers. Havana is over 500 years old and has the promise of change on the horizon with the embargo being lifted. We'll be taking you through the what to see, what to do, and where to eat in the beautiful Havana. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss an upload. First up on our magical mystery tour of Havana would be, of course, Old Havana, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The main attraction in Old Havana is obviously the Plaza de la Catedral, which was completed in 1777. Legend has it that the relics of Christopher Columbus himself were housed here from 1796 to 1898. Entry is free, but if you'd like to climb the bell tower, then it will cost you an extra $1. A short walk away is the Museo Napoleonico, which, yes, as the name suggests, displays collections of all things Napoleon, a private collection from Julio Lobo. He actually hired people to go out into the world and find all things relating to this great emperor, and when he left the country, the Cuban government purchased the entire collection and put it on display here. The collection even includes his tooth as well as his hair. Yes, we're serious. There are over 7,000 artifacts, and it's well known as being one of the biggest collections of Napoleon artifacts outside of Europe. Next up, head to Plaza Vieja, one of Havana's most famous meeting spots filled with Art Nouveau and Cuban Baroque buildings, as well as an 18th century fountain. It is the perfect backdrop for that coveted Instagram picture. Also here is the Plaza de Armas, the social hub of the city. It is filled with small cafes and restaurants, and it's here you'll find the famed Palacio de los Capitanes, the former residence of the Havana governors. Today it is the site of the City Museum, which is of course a must-see indeed. We would recommend looking out for the Hall of Heroic Cuba, which houses objects from the Revolution, and the Salón de los Espejos, which is filled with mirrors and was the room where the official end to the Spanish rule was announced in 1899. The Castillo de la Real Fuerza is also close by and is a 16th century fort, built to fend off attacks from pirates. You'll also find the small maritime museum here where you can marvel at the treasure retrieved from sunken ships around Cuba. Plaza de San Francisco is up next, and the basilica inside is known for having the best acoustics in all of Cuba, and so it is regularly used to host concerts. We recommend you check postings in the square for the schedule of events so you don't miss out. Inside the square is where you will also find the Fuente de los Leones, or Fountain of the Lions, the famous white marble fountain that was carved by Giuseppe Gagini and donated to the country in 1836. Finish your Old Havana walking tour by the ocean at the Castillo de San Salvador de la Puente, which took over 20 years to build and was finished in 1610. It was here that the famous link was made with another fortress. In case of an attack, this large chain was tightened, which would prevent enemy ships from entering the harbor. If you're interested in staying in a piece of history, yes, you can actually do this, then look no further than the Hotel Inglaterra. It is a little bit on the pricey side, with prices starting from $90 per night, but you would be on the guest list with the likes of Anna Pavlova, Jose Marti, and Winston Churchill himself. On the border of Old Havana and Central Havana is the distinctive landmark of El Capitolio, or the National Capitol Building. When you get there, you may think you've been transported to Washington, D.C., as the building looks incredibly similar. But it was actually modeled on the Parisian Pantheon. It was the official house of the Cuban government right up until the Revolution of 1959, and you can take a guided tour through the building for a $4 fee. Also along the border is the Paseo del Prado, considered to be the most beautiful street in all of Havana. It was once the home of Havana's wealthiest families, and it has surely stood the test of time in this regard. It plays host to regal old cinemas, mansions, and even the famous wedding chapel, Palacio de los Matrimonios. So please remember to set your route through this awe-inspiring street. The Plaza de Revolucion, or Revolution Square, is well worth a quick stop while you're in the area, due to the large part it has played in history. Pope John Paul II celebrated Mass in the square, and millions have gathered to listen to Fidel Castro's speeches. Above the square is the Jose Marti Memorial celebrating the Cuban national hero. You can take a look inside the small museum or in fact visit the top of the tower to take in the views of the city. It is here that you'll be able to see the iconic original image of Che Guevara. A short walk away is the Museum of the Revolution to continue your Cuban history tour. It houses the secrets of the struggle for independence, whilst being colored with the revolutionary spin. Just behind the museum is the yacht Granma. This was the actual boat that brought Fidel Castro and his friends from Mexico to Cuba, and so it is definitely worth a photo at least. Next to it is a plane that was shot down during the Bay of Pigs invasion, which is also very, very cool. The museum is $8 to enter for adults and is another $2 if you'd like to take any photos. We would definitely recommend paying the extra, you won't be disappointed. If you'd like to be one with the locals, then we recommend taking a sunset walk along the Malecon, Havana's famous seafront. Many locals come here to fish every day and some also bring their families. The Hotel Nacional de Cuba would be a great place to stay in the area, with glamorous former guests including Marlene Dietrich and none other than Frank Sinatra. In keeping with the seafront theme, next up is Fortaleza de San Carlos de la Cabana, which held the title of the largest Spanish fort ever built at the time it was finished, and absolutely dominates the Havana Bay. After the revolution, it became the headquarters for Che Guevara himself, and today you're still able to visit his personal office, which has been perfectly preserved as he left it, including his personal items. We would definitely recommend coming back at evening time to witness the Ceremonia del Canonazo, when actors perform a cannon fire ceremony in 19th century dress. Get your cameras ready because it is definitely a show you will want to remember. Havana is filled with beautiful architecture, and so many of the old buildings remain today. They have purely been repurposed rather than demolished altogether. The National Museum of Fine Art is the perfect example of this, housed in a restored palace and currently hosts a collection of more than 500 pieces of art, from the Egyptian to Roman ages, and its neighbor hosts strictly Cuban art and costs $5 to enter. If the arts are your weak spot, then a visit to the world's largest opera house must be on your list. Yes, you heard us correctly. Cuba has one of the world's largest opera houses, Gran Teatro de la Habana, and is now home to Cuba's national ballet and opera, of course. A must while you're in the city for sure. To conclude our art tour, finish at the outskirts of Havana at Fusterlandia, where local artist Jose Furster has created hundreds of art pieces throughout the neighborhood, representing his life. He is nicknamed the Picasso of the Caribbean, and once you visit his hometown, you will surely know why. Of course, you are easily able to walk the streets of the beautiful city, but why walk when you're able to hire a classic car? Yes, we know you've obviously seen the photos and are probably thinking it's all a big lie to get you to visit. But believe us when we tell you that this is real life. Fidel Castro did in fact ban the import of foreign cars, and so the streets look like an endless classic car parade, and we love it. The rental is a little bit pricey, costing about $99 per day, but you're actually able to reserve a seat for $20, and the driver will take you on your own personal Havana tour for the day. A must if you're looking for a faster way to see all that this amazing city has to offer. Next up, we are heading to the coast, to Playa del Este to be exact. 20 minutes from the center of Havana is a long stretch of white sandy beach that stretches for miles. The beach itself is divided into sections, the most touristy being Santa Maria del Mar. There are drinks and food being served on the beach, so there is no reason to stray from your spot. There's also the opportunity for ultimate relaxation in the form of massages on offer, as well as the chance to kayak in the crystal clear ocean. If you're looking for more of a local experience, then head to Guanabo. Equally as beautiful but more quiet and less tourist amenities. If you're looking to base yourself by the beach, then we would recommend staying in the Hotel Atlantico, with an all-inclusive rate starting at $50 per night. Foodies, this one's for you, so listen carefully. If you can get a table, then you must dine at the famous La Bodeguita del Medio. It was opened in 1942, claims to be the birthplace of the mojito, and has been visited by most celebrities that have come to Cuba, most notably Ernest Hemingway, of course. All over the walls are signatures and memorabilia from the famous patrons that have dined there before you. Next up is El Floridita, famed for its amazing fish and exotic cocktails, which is located in Calle Obispo, famed in its own right for its buzzing nightlife in the evenings. Finally, it is hard to mention exactly where you should head, or which area in Havana, as the entire city literally comes alive at night. and is perfect for those who wish to stay awake and dance the night away in traditional Cuban fashion. But if you're looking for a bar filled with history, then head to Sloppy Joe's. During Prohibition, people like John Wayne and Clark Gable used to come across in search of legal fun, and this is where they did it. The bar reopened a few years ago and is filled with stories. That concludes our review on the fabulous Cuba. We hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, please let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to our channel, where we post travel-related content every other day. As always, safe travels.